Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, come on in and make yourself at home. My name is Coco. Today I seem to be cosplaying as some sort of blanket. I am a cozy game lover, and recently I have been really loving the game Tchia. It is a breathtakingly beautiful open world adventure game with a rich story and a sprinkling of action, and while I have finished the story, the open world makes it really fun to keep jumping back into. Perhaps you are new to the game, or perhaps you are like me and you keep jumping back into the game, becoming some sort of completionist. Either way, today I wanted to share some tips and tricks and things I wish I knew earlier. I will be staying clear of story spoilers, but you will see a lot of the open world, so keep that in mind in case you want to go into Tchia pretty much fresh and not knowing anything. I'll be using the chapter markers, so if there is something that you know in particular you want to find out about, use them and go straight to that part of the video. Anyway, that is enough of an intro, let's get into some tips and tricks. The first tip I have to you is around fast travel, and while I love running and flying around the islands, you can also use docks to get to places faster. When you find and unlock a dock, you can use that to spawn your boat to your location, plus fast travel to any other dock that you've already unlocked. Docks are also where you can customize your boat with all the designs you've picked up along the way, so it's a really nice place to stop for a few minutes and just explore what else you've found in your inventory. This next tip is around filling in your map, and if you're somewhat of a completionist, this is definitely for you. Wherever you are on the island, head to the highest point and you'll usually see something glowing up there. This is a point of interest, and Tchia will do this sort of ka-cha noise, this cry that basically points out all the different points of interest in the area. These will be things like pearls, trinkets, challenges. There are all sorts of things to discover and collect, and if you unlock these with these sort of cries, they will be marked on your map forever and they'll be easier to find when you come back at a later time. Now my next tip, and a couple of the tips on my list, are around the mini games, because although they are super fun, they can be tricky if you don't exactly know what to do. You can earn trophies from these mini games, and the target practice one is probably the one that you're going to come across first. If you're playing with a keyboard and mouse, potentially this is a lot easier for you, but playing with my PS4 controller, it could be a little hard to target exactly where I wanted to. I struggled to get a trophy here for quite a while, and then I realized that the targets that moved could actually still be hit when they were sideways. If you play with a controller like me, then chances are you have struggled here too, and this might make the targets a little easier. The next one on my list, one I struggled with for ages and now I think I have mastered, is the diving minigame. There are a few locations with diving games to find, and there's definitely a knack to getting a high scoring dive. To score points, you have to do tricks as you're diving, and to access these tricks, you hold down the same button that usually opens Tchia's reaction options. Then, using the right joystick, which usually controls the camera, you wiggle up, down, left and right to perform different tricks. The more tricks you do, the more points you earn. However, you have to let go of these controls before Tchia lands, or you'll lose 50 points for a bad entry. You can score more points for performing a variety of tricks in one dive, and you earn more points for backwards and forwards rolls, so try prioritizing these if you're going for gold. And the best tip I can give you about diving is that if you land and didn't do well, you can actually pause the game and select to restart instead of climbing the whole way back up. My next tip is that small animals can fit in Tchia's bag. No doubt you probably know that Tchia can soul jump into different objects and animals and take advantage of their special powers, but did you know that there are actually quite a few really useful animals that you can fit in your bag and take with you wherever you go? Birds are what I find really useful to keep around, as then you can fly to areas really easily, but cats are also great for their night vision, and crabs also have really useful claws for cutting through things in very certain situations. But the most useful thing you can have is probably a chicken, as not only can you glide around, but you can also lay unstable eggs to hurl at enemies whenever you like. Something I only learned while looking through the animal descriptions is that there is one other animal that creates explosives, and that is cows. My next tip is around the stone balancing and soul fruit caves, and basically the tip is go do them. If you love turning into animals and objects, then seeking out the stone balancing locations and the soul caves, definitely the first thing you should do. Now I have no tips for the stone balancing, I just drop a lot of rocks until it works out, to be honest, but it's well worth finding these locations as they unlock new songs for your ukulele, which can include attracting nearby animals and rocks, and even summoning birds and other animals directly to you. There is a cooldown period, but this basically means you don't have to keep a particular animal in your bag in order to guarantee you've got it when you need it, because it's always just one song away. Additionally, unlocking soul fruit caves with the totem carving minigame is really useful, as then you can soul double jump for much longer. My tip for this one might be a little bit of a cheat because, to be honest, I can never remember what the totem looks like that I need to carve, so I'll take a picture on my phone and then go to find the carving station. I have tried relying on my memory and it did not work out. Within the soul fruit caves, and they might not even be called soul fruit caves, I call them soul fruit caves, are soul fruit. Shocker. Wow. What a name. There's usually some sort of mini game inside the cave as well, but Tchia then eats the soul fruit and then her bar of soul energy is then increased forever. It's amazing. I love it. Collect all of them so you can basically just live your best life as a chicken or a crab or a deer forever. My next tip, and this will also come in handy if you love soul jumping, is food. If you love soul jumping, then the campfires and the food stands will become your best friend. It took me a while to realize that when using up your soul meter, while it will replenish, it will only replenish 3 bars. So if you want to fill up your soul meter again, the best thing to do is find a campfire or a food stand for a quick bite, and that is what will fill it back up. My last tip, and the one that is the most important for anyone that's new to Tchia, is to not rush it. Don't rush it and don't feel like you have to do everything before you finish the story. You can keep playing after the main story is over, and in fact I would say that in order to truly finish the story there are a couple of things you really must do. But more than that, there is a treasure map to follow, outfits to win, and so help me, I want to collect all of the trinkets. There's also one achievement you can only get in the end game, and it's definitely a spoiler for the main story. I'm going to put information about that in the description for anyone that has finished the game. If you haven't, come back afterwards because it's a really cool little thing you can do. Definitely pretty funny, and I'd love to hear if anyone has done it. But don't look until you finish the game. You've been warned, come back in 10 hours. And that is it. I hope you liked this quick video. I hope that these tips and tricks helped you out. Thank you so much for watching. I will leave something else cozy for you right here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.